Hi everyone, my name is Mehul. It's been a while since we hopped on here for an episode of Bear Thoughts. And Bear Thoughts honestly was something we particularly launched during the peak of COVID and lockdowns and all that. And this was our way to continue raising awareness of amazing, insightful initiatives around the world that are trying their level best to bring about change. If you've tuned into our episodes in the past, thank you. And you may have noticed that it was all about innovative solutions in a diverse set of industries because that's literally how we get inspired, right? Imagine you just had your own ideas and your own thoughts without being exposed to others' journeys out there. How do you think that would go for you? I know for us, it would not be great. So today I actually have with me Seher, founder and CEO of Bare Necessities, who you all probably know, and Reshma, marketing manager at Bare Necessities. And we've legit worked our asses off over the past 6 months to launch something extremely exciting just yesterday, a course centered around circular economy, a concept that is growing, is well known, and before it becomes another buzzword, let's flood our platforms with the correct, accessible information. Am I right? The course is called Circular Economy in 30 because it's about time we design waste out of the system rather than simply finding ways to manage it. Here's an audio trailer of our latest course with 15 plus experts and 70 plus videos of just pure inspiration, information, knowledge, and ideas.
Oh, that's a great question. Let me tell you. Welcome to Circular Economy in 30. Welcome to the future.
Pollution is a design problem.
And we need to design out waste and pollution.
So, what is agroforestry, right?
Let's find out. Let's look at the
Experience and ideas
towards a circular economy in our products.
It's time to shake it all up.
Fancy term it might sound, circular economy.
Don't live in an unlimited world.
This is what we've been witnessing all lockdown.
If you look at the nature, there is no waste.
Awareness of what you produce, what you use, and what you dispose.
So now you know. So, from the concept of zero waste to sustainable practices to renewable energy to us becoming more innovative, whether we're entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, designers, and more, to sustainable financing models, it all contributes to a new future, a more sustainable and just future, a circular future. And we call that the circular economy rather than the linear economy which we're currently in, which is simply just taking resources, making things out of it, and literally not knowing what happens to anything when we discard. Hint, all sorts of pollution. So Circular Economy in 30, the trailer you just heard, is the most recent course launched out of three. One that we have is specific to zero waste, one is specific to sustainability, and now circular economy. So let's start with talking to Seher a little bit. So Seher, you started Bare Necessities and then Bare Learning, an initiative that has been recognized by UNESCO Green Citizens and UNDP as a climate action initiative. It's this awesome awareness branch of Bare Necessities, the social enterprise. So can you tell us a little bit about Bare Learning, the courses within, and also what exactly differentiates these courses from all the others that are out there?
So, Bare Learning is this amazing platform that makes it easy and accessible for all of us to understand what sustainability actually means. And we've done this by means of incorporating online courses component that's completely self-paced, so you can do it whenever you like, whether you are a professional or a student. And the best thing about it is that we've roped in all of these amazing experts that we deeply respect, admire, and have learned a great deal of information from. So the idea about Bare Learning is really to have different ways to, connect with people on the content front, whether that is online courses or books even, or even bare thoughts. The idea is to just break down concepts of sustainability and make it just fun and digestible. Okay, so our first course is Zero Waste in 30, and that's perhaps something that we are most well known for. We tried to break down the concepts of what zero waste living actually means into various aspects of your life. From the minute you wake up to the clothes that you put on in the morning to how you commute in a city. And we have a bunch of amazing fun DIY videos that are incorporated so you can do it yourself along with us through these videos. The next one is Sustainability in 30. And it's kind of like a level up to larger concepts around sustainability. What is renewable energy? What is greenwashing even? What are factors that we need to look at when we look at gender, income, and inequality? So that's, again, kind of the building blocks of sustainability, which is perfect for anyone who is a mid-career professional looking to learn more about sustainability, or anyone really. And of course, today we are talking about our third course, which is Circular Economy in 30. So research shows us that transitioning to renewable energy can only address about 55% of emissions. The remaining 45% comes from producing cars, clothes, food, and everyday products, according to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. So we all know we've been trashing this planet at this crazy, unprecedented rate. And we've been doing this primarily in manufacturing, consuming, and of course, mindlessly then throwing things. And that's what's caused us to be in this big, big mess, right? So, what we're really advocating for is a new way of doing things, one that is circular. A circular economy approach is trying to address beyond just individual actions of zero waste. We're looking at a more systemic approach. We're sharing lessons, examples, pilots, and ideas of a completely new way of doing things, primarily manufacturing, consuming, designing, financing, repairing, renting, and rethinking about end of life as we traditionally have come to know about it.
All right. So now that we know the story behind the idea, and Reshma was core to the research of this course, the script writing, and more, Reshma, can you obviously introduce yourself briefly and let us know what the process was like creating the course itself?
Hi, I'm Reshma and I joined BEAR at the beginning of the pandemic. Honestly, while life across the world changed, mine did too with BEAR, to be honest. I work with Mehul to handle social media and marketing at BEAR, and as I got the chance to work on this kick-ass new course, I honestly felt like this was the best learning experience I've had till date. I wish school and college followed a process like this, to be honest. When you guys pitched the idea of creating a course on the concept of circular economy last year, honestly, my first thought was who would understand this? Would anyone even be interested in it? And that's when I realized this is what the course should be about. Something that takes a very complex concept, and breaks it down into simple, digestible parts to show that it is a realistic and achievable goal we can have as a society. There should also be something fun that reflects all of our experiences through this course because we did have a lot of experiences. We did meet a lot of new people, a lot of experts from different fields, and we learned so much about circular economy ourselves and its different components as we recorded this course ourselves. This time around, of course, also wanted to really bring our A game with recording because we wanted our content to really reflect in the production value and decided to have multiple locations for our shoots. We had the BEAR office and we had this gorgeous co-working space at WeWork and had several spots across Church Street and more. You'll see lots of fun, artistic rooms, walls, cafes, streets, scooters, and more. And if you're a Bangalorean like us, you won't really have any trouble identifying all these spots because anything you do on Church Street is always fun, right? Although recording was quite an intense process, at the end of the day, you would always find us content and laughing after a long, exciting day of work. And of course, the food. Every day we made it a point to try out a new place and order stuff we've never tried out before, from Rasta Cafe to rolls and my favorite coconut grove. And after belting an extensive spread of dishes, we tell ourselves we were just supporting local.
Seher, is there anything you'd like to add?
So when the pandemic hit, I also decided to kind of upskill myself, and I took an Ellen MacArthur Foundation course on circular economy. And it was super fun, but we would meet once a week, and of course on various different time zones. So I remember for me, I would kind of finish at 10 o'clock at night. And while I was exposed to really fun concepts, I really thought there was a need to have more content for the Asian diaspora, something that celebrated all of our amazing ideas and ways in which we embed circularity without even knowing it. And that's kind of when the idea came about to have a self-paced online course, kind of the format that we've been doing before. So that would kind of break all the barriers of time zones and all of that, that little bit that was quite a challenge and struggle, while also really trying to get amazing local experts to share their experiences about what they're doing, whether that's with insects or with circular fashion or having new ways to rent things. So yeah, that's kind of how the concept came. Put together a little draft concept note with some ideas and concepts that I really wanted to embed into the course. And then honestly, it was Reshma and another intern that we had at the time, Sinapula, who kind of took it from there.
Also, I just wanted to add in a bit about the kind of workflow that went into this course, although it was a lot. We coordinated with like 15 plus experts who were from various fields like agriculture, marine conservation, packaging, the FMCG industry, the fashion industry, and more. And a lot of them were CEOs, founders, authors, doctors, and of course, everybody had their own schedule and timeline to work on. So it was quite a challenge to coordinate with everyone and get them to either come meet us in person or even, connect for a virtual chat. And of course, none of this is taking into account the amount of time and resources we spent researching for the 10 chapters in this course. Like Seher mentioned, the other person, Sunaptula, and I would sit together and brainstorm after having gone through courses, scores of research articles, case studies, and other study material to come up with all this.
That's so great to hear. Thanks for sharing, and definitely shows that a lot of work and research has gone into it. Many people do ask us questions like, why should we enroll when we can learn this from YouTube? But honestly, that's the challenge, isn't it? With the ample amounts of information available out there, some right, some wrong, how do we know where to start? That's our goal for these online courses, all self paced, all courses priced the very same to make it accessible, and a ton of expert insights from industries, businesses, companies, and journeys we've never heard of before. So, some of the experts we've roped into our course I wasn't even aware existed right in our neighborhood. The beauty of learning from those around us. So, now that we know all that went into it, let's all share our favorite part of the course creating process. Right?
Oh my gosh, okay. So many favorite parts about the course. But I think recording was super fun. They were really long days. I remember we had like 8 a.m. call times, and sometimes we'd even finish and wrap up by 8. But just the whole experience of bonding with, our videographer and his team, and just being kind of outside of our bare office, just joking around, lots of bloopers, making lots of mistakes. It was just like a whole another bonding experience, and I had a blast doing it. So yeah, the process of recording for me.
Reshma, what about you?
I think for me, it was the fact that we, like Seher mentioned, we recorded outside of the bare office, and that way we got to, experience a lot of new things, go to new places. Like there's this one shot where we shot it near the metro station, and there were lots of people like staring at us and like, wondering what the heck we were doing with the camera, and a guy's just walking. So a lot of these experiences that we had on the road, in public, and like amidst traffic, and Bangalore traffic is pretty bad. So a lot of these experiences that we had like these in public spaces really kind of brought to me this concept that yes, circular economy is a local economy after all, and that was my favorite part, hands down.
Nice. Thanks for sharing, guys. I think my favorite part of all this was definitely what you guys said, but also the experts that we had the chance to talk to, whether it was virtually or in person. They were really cool. There were people who were working with bamboo fabrics. There were people who were working with insects, like Seher mentioned earlier. There were people who were literally pioneering the repair economy in Bangalore itself, which I never knew was happening. So I think hearing from these people in person without having to kind of read about them or anything, actually listening to these people was what was my really favorite part of putting this course together. All right, so Seher, what can one expect to get out of this course, and who is this course for? And also, Reshma, please dive in whenever you see fit.
This course basically looks at what a circular economy means and how it is achievable by us on an individual level, as a community, and of course with companies and governments at large. We take you through fundamentals of life, like the food we consume and how it can be sustainable through agricultural practices, the clothes by making conscious fashion choices and supporting local artisans, the products we buy from supermarkets and the kind of packaging used in these products, the ways our homes functions through smart home features like Google Nest Home, and shared models of businesses where we can rent out furniture instead of purchasing it. That way, our private spaces can always have a new look without denting our bank balance. We basically have like 10 chapters that dive deep into each of these topics with lots of practical examples like Yulu for shared modes of transportation, Airbnb for when you're traveling, Starbucks coffee and why it's priced the way it's priced, Burger King and their latest venture in the sustainability space, although a lot of us may not even think of Burger King when we talk about sustainability, right? And that is only scratching the surface. There's tons of fun, cool examples nestled in each chapter that you wouldn't even have associated with the circular economy, but actually are circular in their own way. Because that's what an economy is after all, right? Different components of a society that come together to make up a life for you and I.
Yeah, that's really true. Sarah, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, definitely. I think this course honestly is for anyone and everyone, whether you are 18 years old and looking to enhance your resume as you apply for school or college, or if you are a mid-career professional, or if you just want to start a green team within your own corporate organization, or an entrepreneur thinking about how you can package your own products, a product designer who's really looking to spearhead some innovation that is more sustainable, more green, and more just kinder to the planet. It's really, this course is for anyone and everyone. So in this course, we talk about circularity in the FMCG sector, look at technology, how we clothe ourselves, we look at packaging, the renting economy, and how we can even add value to existing resources or even spaces. And that way we can create a win-win for people, for planet, and for profit. Whether that's renting a room in your own home via Airbnb or renting a spare spot for parking in your driveway, or renting a Yulu bike to even get to work. This course has tons of realistic practical examples. Like, for example, you can rent a little drill and use it for 5 minutes rather than buying one, or even renting clothes for kids because we all know how quickly they even outgrow them. Some concepts that I also really want to highlight that I really kind of changed the way I think about things has been the revolving finance model. Like, how do we spur innovation in a place where there is no access to capital? How we think about modularity. Usually if we have one broken part of an electronic, we try and just trash the whole thing. How do we think about just fixing or repairing that particular model or that particular, headset on your right ear, for example? And then the subscription systems, because that makes it way easier for us as consumers, let's face it, to afford any of these new products and services. So how can we pay in small installments that really don't hurt our pocket money or budget or wallets at the end of the month? So circularity honestly just advocates also for regenerative agriculture. And that is the basic of life. We all need to eat, right? And another favorite thing about circular economy for me is the amount of green jobs it creates for all of us in the amazing process.
Thank you so much for sharing, guys. I know we got some really busy work days ahead of us because of the festive season and all that's happening, but this episode was something we just had to do because we're so excited about the course, about the launch, and of course about circular economy as a concept and being the future as well. So if you are interested in enrolling into any of our online courses, please visit barenecessities.in or barenecessitieslearning.in. We got some beautiful trailers as well to give you a sneak peek as well into our online courses and also who all our experts are. As you go through it, you'll realize that circular economy isn't actually rocket science, but just the bigger picture to zero-based living.